Yo guys, what's going on? Acez is here today with another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the new expansion coming to one of the maps here very soon in Escape from Tarkov. Do me a favor, make sure you're dropping a like on this one here today, and of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more PvE content. So we got 3 images to take a look at here today, my friends, and I'm going to try and point out pretty much everything I can for you so we can try our best to figure out what map this is. Feel free to put your guesses down in the comments below. I genuinely have no idea. It could be customs, it could be woods. I don't really think it's Lighthouse, even though I think Lighthouse desperately needs an expansion. I don't think it's Lighthouse. I don't think it's Reserve or anything like that. I'm definitely leaning towards customs or woods, but you'll just have to let me know what you think down in the comments. So we're going to take a look at all 3 of these images here today. I'm going to point out some stuff that I have noticed. I have looked at all 3 images. Now, not super in depth. So, there's definitely stuff that here in the video while recording it I could notice, but I did take a look at them already and have gone over them very slightly. So, this is the first image we got here. We are in some sort of train yard. We got a building right here. We got some stuff off to the right, which I believe in image 3 we'll be able to see kind of the other side of what's, over here. At least I think so, based on what I saw in the images. But, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on. So we have a building right here that kind of gives me like a reserve vibe with like the garage area and stuff. You can see that we can definitely go in there, and I know it's very blurry and YouTube compression will probably hurt that a little bit as well, but we have an open garage door here that we can definitely go into. We have an open storage container right here, probably just loose loot and, whatever kind of spawns in there. We have what kind of looks to be like either a little shack or maybe like somewhat of those like power buildings. There's a couple of them on Streets of Tarkov, and I think there's a couple on another map where it's just like a small tiny room in there. So it could be one of those. Looks like we have almost like a little camping area, like maybe some sleeping bags, and we got one of the fire pits and maybe some beds or some benches and something. Maybe we got some food spawns going on in there, and I'm sure on top of some of these boxes, some of these barrels, you'll have your loose loot and maybe like duffel bag spawns just on top of all that shit. I don't think they put that in this image. I don't think that was rendered in. I think it is just the map we are seeing here. So we have this train car open, probably just to traverse from side to side. Looks like we have another little garage building right here. Looks like a garage door here, and I'm assuming you could definitely go in there. Then we have this entire building. I would love to see this entire building have its own personality, room to room, just like the dorms. The rooms on dorms and like the individual rooms in buildings on Streets of Tarkov just give a really nice free-flowing experience to when you are traversing the map. Like, if you see a building and you see a windows open, it's like, okay, I can get in there somehow because it's not boarded up. Now, a lot of these look boarded up for now. Doesn't mean that can't change. But, like, on streets, you look around, you see that the window's open. It's like, okay, let's try and get in that room. And you walk into a building, and there's a whole bunch of lootable rooms. And it gives it its own feel, that specific building, those specific rooms, their own personality. I would love to see that with this building here. Just throw a little more personality onto the map and onto the new area. So it looks like we can traverse through here in some way, shape, or form. Potentially an extension to this building, but we have another structure here. As for the background, doesn't really look like we can figure out what's going on back here. It's either just not finished or these screenshots were taken before the fog update was actually implemented into Tarkov, which was a couple weeks, 3-4 weeks ago now already. So you can definitely see that fog out there. So that's definitely possible, or it is by design, done intentionally, so we can't really see what might not be finished out there, because you can definitely see like this does not look finished in my opinion. Now this could be some sort of archway. Like, it looks like this is a train car. This could be like maybe an archway, a tunnel, or something like that, but just doesn't really look finished from this angle. And I noticed this. I don't know if this is anything, but I wanted to point it out. So I do not know if this is like an Overwatch or if that's like Streets of Tarkov. You know how on Interchange, for example, it renders in streets from across the map. I don't know if maybe that's the top of one of the buildings. I don't know if this is one of the smokestacks that we will see in some of the other angles, and it's just like at an odd angle the way it was taken. This is a very sharp angle though, so I don't know if this is something on top of this rock, if this is in the background, but it's certainly not a tree. You can see what the trees look like even far away. Like, you can see this is not a straight angle. This is definitely something going on, and it could just definitely be a smokestack, which we'll see in another image. But I wanted to point it out just in case, because, you know, I know you guys are probably a lot better than me at figuring out all the very small, minute details that are going to let us know what map this is actually on. So as for image number 2, we have not a whole lot to talk about in this image, to be completely honest with you, but we do have a few things we can point out. So we have, once again, the train cars over here. We have a hole in the fence, so it looks like you would approach this area from over here in the forest area. And this is where, to me, like, this looks like woods. Like, this looks like over by Broken Red, the broken down red brick building, and kind of like near the new expansion area that we already got for woods. Like, it kind of reminds me of that side of the map. Now, I have no idea if it actually is, but that's just what this angle reminds me of personally. We have a couch here. I'm pointing this out because I bet your ass there's either going to be like a tech spawn, a rare spawn, you know, some sort of valuable spawn or something on there. I just feel like this couch is very, very out of place, and I think it's by design. I think there's probably going to be some sort of valuable loot spawn there. You know, I'm assuming there's going to be loose loot on these boxes, in these boxes, on all these objects. We have a truck here where the back is open. Typically, there'll be loot in the back of that truck. Who knows if we have anything in the train car, or if it's, once again, just a way to kind of traverse to and from. Now, I will say, based on how this looks, it looks like there's no way down right here. So it looks like you might potentially need to jump on the barrels, mantle on the barrels, vault on the barrels, hop on this pallet, and then jump in if you would want to traverse that way. And I would assume from the other side of the train car, there is a ramp that goes up, and it's almost like a one-way, or one way is a lot easier to traverse than the other. As for trying to get any hints in the background, this is a piece of machinery. You can see the wheels for it right here. Looks like we could have a potential building here. This could be a window, but this could also be a door. This could be a door, and just by the angle and how this is rendered, potentially this is either not done yet. Maybe there's supposed to be stairs there, but it looks like we can probably get inside of that building right there. But as for this image, there's just not a ton we can work with here when it comes to small little details. It's probably the worst of the 3 images. And now for image number 3, where it's pretty much all put together for you. You can kind of get a better idea of what we got going on here and kind of where we're at on the map. So like I said, this is the image that puts everything together. So the first image, we were basically sitting where the LAV is here. So we were at this LAV looking this way. And as for the second image, we were over here. Here's that piece of machinery that we just pointed out. And here is that kind of like double building. I don't really know what you want to call it. And here is that other small building there. And as for that large building that I talked about, you know, giving each room its own personality, we see that here. And there's obviously something going on with this window. It looks to be potentially broken or something. So there's definitely going to be at least one lootable room in there. Better than none, I guess. But this is really where we get all the context clues of what map this is going to be on. And I'm going to do my best to show you everything in a bit more detail. So we are mainly focused on the background of the image. Everything else here we've pretty much seen. We've seen this entire area. It's just a little bit closer up. We've pretty much, you know, we know what's here from that other image, and all we really get to look at is this LAV and this building a little bit more. That's really all we get from this. What we're interested is this. You know, this right here looks to be the factory areas from Woods. Kind of backs up what I was feeling from this area over here. However, I do want to say, this is a lot closer than it should be. So it could be by the extracts near, is it called UN Roadblock now? I can't remember. I think it's called UN Roadblock and not Ruoff. But it is by that broken red side of the map, which would also kind of line up because there are train tracks there. So, you know, assuming that broken red would be somewhere right over here behind the tree line, you have the edge of Woods here, you have like the factories and all of that over here, and that's kind of what I'm assuming. You know, we have a couple more context clues, but not much. But that's where I think it is. I think this is a Woods expansion personally, but because all the maps are designed to be fitting together, because they want all the maps to genuinely fit together, you know how you have path to shoreline, then you have path to lighthouse. If you look at those extracts, you can see the other map. You know, on Shoreline, you can see the dome to reserve. There's a whole bunch of things that bring the maps together. So just because we can see what looks to be a part of woods does not mean this is actually on woods. This could just be a map that is interconnecting to woods. That is my opinion on it. So let me know what you guys think. I'm still leaning towards woods, which I'm completely fine with. I think woods is a phenomenal map. I love it. And I never thought I could say that I would love an open map with pretty much no cover. And the only cover you do have is 90% trees. But woods is such an awesome and unique map with such a great feel. And adding more areas to it where we can enhance the PvE experience, get some scavs here, get some PMCs here, I'm down. So let me know what you guys think about the expansion a little bit later of a video here today. Appreciate you guys nonetheless. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out.